Hello everybody, my name is Heather. Happy New Year. Today is January 1st, 2024, and I've wanted to do a knitting podcast for a while, crafty podcast. So I decided today was the best day to do it. It's quiet. Everybody's either at work or still asleep. I have been knitting for 20 years. I taught myself how to knit in 2004 when we lived in Louisiana. Long time ago. And I've been knitting ever since. I've taught myself how to crochet and spin. Not the best at either crochet or spinning, but I'm working towards improving my skills. So I thought that I would get on here, show you guys some of my projects, figure out how this works. It's probably going to be a little jumpy and discombobulated because this is my first time. Don't know how to edit anything, so I'm going to figure that out. Hopefully I can figure it out. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry. I will link those below. Let's get started. I think the first thing we're going to do is go into finished objects. So this morning I got up and was able to finish something. First thing, it's a pair of socks. Don't know the best way to hold these. These are knit on my Erlbacher Gerhardt Speedster that I got for my birthday last year. My husband surprised me with it. I was super excited. And these are knit out of Desert Vista Dye Works in the Firecracker colorway that I got last year. They are a heel tab Shorty. I cranked the cuff, did a deep heel all the way down to the toe, finished off the toe. They don't match. I'm perfectly okay with that. Alrighty, so the second finished object I have I would say was my last finished object of 2023. And it's another pair of socks. Desert Vista Dye Works again in the Firecracker colorway. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Firecracker. With a contrast mini. Again, cranked on my Erlbacher Gerhardt Speedster machine, which I love. Love, love, love. Let's put them on sock blockers. So these are a little longer than I would normally do. There's dog hair in it. These are normally a little bit longer than I would traditionally make socks for myself, being I did a 30 round hung hem. So I'd cranked 30 rounds, hung the hem, and then I did 100. I made the leg 100 with the cuff 111 rounds. Did my heel like normal, then I cranked my foot, switched over to my contrast for my toe, and then finished the toe and Kitchenered it all together. So that's finished object number 2. My last one of 2023, we'll say. I did finish another pair of socks that I cranked on my machine for my daughter's best friend. They were cranked out of, I have the label right here, Felici in the psychedelic sunset colorway. Some yarn that I've had for quite a while. And I decided, let's crank some socks yesterday. Get a couple pairs in before the year was over. So that's 2. So yesterday and this morning. These I just need to wash, then block. Put on my sock blockers again. Okay. Something else that I finished just a couple days ago, in between work and my lunch break and stuff is some dishcloths. These are Knit Picks Dishy in the kitchenette colorway, and then just sugar and cream cone of white that I have hanging out in my stash. I just knit them on the bias. It's kind of, I think I used Grandma's favorite dishcloth, no holes, but I've made a few modifications to that. I'll have to think about that, what I've done differently. I think going forward this year for my dishcloths, because I usually knit a ton of dishcloths and then I give them to my mother-in-law for church and she donates them, or they sell them at their craft fair every year. I think this year I'm going to try and crochet all of them. Not a very good crocheter. I would like to get better, but I can just do basic stitches. So let's see if we can improve those skills this year. A couple other things that are finished. I got the Woolens and Nosh Advent Christmas self-striping Advent this year. I've gotten it 2 years now. Love it. Absolutely love it. The first year I got just the fingering weight and I knit my husband a pair of socks out of it. It was fun. I love it. One of my favorites. And so this year I got two. I got the DK weight and the fingering weight. So he's gotten his Advent socks already. He got them on Christmas. They were part of a big gift that I did for him. And then these are mine. So let's try this. So I cranked the tube on my machine. So after Advent was over, after everybody had done all of theirs, I went ahead and put this up on cones and cranked it on my machine. So 30 round hung hem, like always, makes 15 rounds. Cranked all the way down to the toe, and then I stopped. So I ended up just cranking a tube, except for the cuff, and then I put my toes on in the contrast, which is just a typical knit around, decrease around, knit around, decrease around, till I got to the end in Kitchener. And then I cut in the heel at exactly where the 12 stripes end and the next ones begin. Put these up on sock blockers as well. These sock blockers I got, I think at Paradise Fibers. That's my local yarn store. Not 100% sure. I don't remember exactly. I've had them for years. I knit a lot of socks, so I have quite a few sock blockers. But here you go. 24 stripes. Woolens and Nosh. Fantastic. Gonna get it again next year for sure. She has some self-striping clubs that I'm debating on signing up for this year. I haven't decided 100% yet. Alrighty, so put that in my basket over here. So another pair of Advent socks that I finished were Freckled Whimsy. And again, the same. I waited until Advent was over. I had actually started these ones in a different pattern, and I don't know if I was bored with the pattern or what, or I was just overwhelmed with Advent sock knitting. I knit a total of 5 pairs. So my husband got the Woolens and Nosh DK. I did the Cozy Knitter this year, 2023, which I finished those for Christmas for myself. And then I had Woolens and Nosh in the fingering weight, and then Freckled Whimsy. So is that 5? Yes, that's 5. And so I decided to rip out and start these again. And so I ended up cranking them on my machine. The one thing I did do differently is, again, 30 round hung hem. It's pretty much all I do unless I'm doing shorty socks, and then it's 10 heel tab, 10, then I hang it. But I cranked my tube all the way down to the end. Then I finished my tube with a toe this time. So I actually cranked the toe, Kitchenered it together. Then I put in the heel, which is out of the contrast that came with it, where 12 would be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So number 12. So I have 2 of those. Did the same thing. Pretty simple, pretty fun, made it go fast. I put these heels in on my lunch break from work. I work from home, so when I clocked out for lunch, I sat down here because I both work here and have my craft set up down here, and I just cut in the heel and then did them really fast, which was kind of nice. My husband's Advent socks out of the DK, I think I knit them, I don't remember. I think I did 12 days, put in a heel, and then 12 days. They're in the wash right now, so I can't remember 100%. Let me go get them. Alrighty, I'm back. I went and grabbed them out of the dirty sock bin because he wore them on Christmas and I haven't washed socks since then. So they're gonna look a little gross, but oh well. So my husband wears a size 14 shoe. So his socks can take quite a bit of time to knit. So these I did hand knit. I have been cranking a lot more of his socks on my sock knitting machine, only because he loves his socks. He wears them every single day from October-ish to about May. We live in the inland Northwest, Pacific Northwest, whatever you want to call it. We live in Washington State. So while we've only had 1 day of snow, it does get cold. He does sometimes have to work outside, so he likes his feet to be warm. I did him his very first pair of socks, and he was in love. So I continue to knit him socks as much as I possibly can. But having my sock knitting machine now is definitely helpful in me being able to make him more faster. So these I did hand knit. I did end up putting in a tube. I cut the tube in, or cut the heel in, I'm sorry. So these I knit on a size 3. They're a little stretched out because he worn them. I do wash and dry my socks. Wash them on the delicate cycle, dry them on the delicate cycle as well. In the summer I will do a full wash and then hang them to dry outside. But for every day, every week washing, pretty much wash and dry them in the machine. Only lost maybe 2 pairs so far. Knock on wood, I don't lose any more, but it is what it is. So I started with the cuff again. I knit all the way down, did his toe in the contrast. Did I put these in at day 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I put them in between 11 and 12 for these ones. I wanted to make sure that I had enough for his foot. Usually what I'll do when I knit him socks and I'm cutting in a heel, I will measure. For me, I know with my Advents that at day 12 I can put in a heel and they're gonna fit me just fine. For him it's a little bit different. This is my first year doing the Woolens and Nosh DK weight, and I was concerned that maybe I didn't have enough that I was going to be able to put him at exactly at day 12, so I just waited. Like every year when I get the Cozy Knitter Advent, I knit my socks and then I make him socks, and I know for him I can only do 9 stripes before I have to put in a heel. For me it's 12 and 12. So it's been a few years of doing that, and I've finally got it figured out. Every once in a while I put the heel in the wrong spot, but just rip it out and reknit it. It's no big deal. And then sock blockers. I got these from Hip Strings years ago, and he wears a 14. I have a really hard time finding sock blockers that go up to a 14. Thought about the adjustable ones, but I don't know that they're big enough. Definitely like to block his socks after I knit them on these, and I only have one, so they're starting to get a little, like, I don't know if you can see this, the peeling is coming off here. I think I cracked a pair. Part of his Christmas gift this year was 24 pairs of socks, so I hand knit and hand cranked 24 pairs of socks for him for Christmas, and he opened a new pair of socks every single day in the month of December, and he enjoyed it so much. So I think I'm gonna do that again next year, probably. I can't say I won't. I'll probably start now and knit throughout the year and try to get him his socks up and just stockpiled so I can do it for him. But yeah, I knit a lot of socks. It's probably my favorite thing to make. I do knit some sweaters, dishcloths. I crochet a couple blankets. So I just try to do all the things. We'll see what this year brings us. One thing I really want to do is learn how to weave. Maybe not so much big weavings, but like little weavings. So we'll see. Hopefully we're able to make that happen. Who knows? So I guess let's get into WIPs, works in progress. So right now I'm currently working on a test knit cardigan for a designer. I don't know if I'm allowed to share it yet. It's due in February. I've gotten the body, or well, not the body. I've gotten the top to the shoulder, to the sleeve separation, and I am on the ribbing for one sleeve. I ran out of yarn, so I decided if I have to get more yarn, I might as well start my sleeves. So one full sleeve is done except for the ribbing, and I'm about 2 inches from the ribbing to be done. I can show you the yarn I'm using. So this is the yarn I'm using. It is a worsted weight yarn. It's Palouse Yarn Company. So this is, we can say it's a local yarn store for me. I grew up down on the Palouse. It's, if you've ever heard of Washington State, most of you know that a lot of Washington, especially Eastern Washington where I live, is rolling wheat fields. Well, I was lucky enough to grow up down there. So this Palouse Yarn Company is from the Yarn Underground. They're based out of Moscow, Idaho, which is just across the border, still local. But every year in March, they do cabin fever spin-in, where vendors and people come with fleeces and all kinds of fun stuff. You know, hand dyers, yarn store owners. So I got this down there last year. This is their Clearwater worsted in lilacs. It's a unique, so it was a one of a kind. I got 6 skeins of it from the Cabin Fever spin-in, and this is what I'm making my test knit cardigan out of. I love it. I love the yarn. Yarn is great. I've used this yarn base a few times. So I made a another sweater out of it last April. If I can figure out how to put photos in, I'll take a photo of it, or I'll insert a photo. It was made out of, I want to say strawberry shortcake was the colorway. I could be wrong, but I'll see if I can put a photo in. So that's one project I'm working on. I'm not sure if I can share it or not. So I should ask the designer. A couple other things that I'm working on. So even though I have my circular sock knitting machine, I still love to knit socks by hand, and we like to go on drives or, you know, go do different things. And so I always have a sock on the needles. The bulk of them are hand knit or are knit on my machine, which is right here. But I do have 2 pairs right now that are on actual needles. So here's the first pair. I am at the heel. Yes, I started the heel on it. Cuff down. These are tiny circulars. These are actually the Lantern Moon tiny circs. I think they're 10-inch. This is a size 0. So I don't typically knit my socks on a size 0, but I'm giving it a try because I do find that every once in a while they're a little looser than I like. So we're gonna try 0. I've had these on the needles for a while, probably a few months, but I only knit them when we're in the car, when we're walking around Home Depot, because we spend a lot of time there right now because we're in the middle of adding a bathroom in our basement. But so I got to the heel and then I needed some stitch markers, so I stopped. But this is the ball band is all kinds of messed up. Regia Pear Perfect. I got it at a little fabric store in the town that we passed through on our way to the lake all summer. Every summer, or every weekend in the summer, we go out to Lake Roosevelt and we spend the weekends there. But it's a little fabric store in the town that we passed through. It was $18, which I love. I love Regia Pear Perfect. Such a great yarn. Such a workhorse yarn. Washes and dries beautifully. As I said earlier that I wash and dry my socks, but I don't want to hand wash anything. If I have to, I will. I just choose not to. Oh, I dropped a stitch. So the next pair of socks that I'm working on, I started Saturday night. My husband wanted to go out, and so we did. I knew that my other pair of socks were at the heel. I'm like, I don't want to work on those, especially in the dark, because I do knit in the dark. I knit in the car when we're going places, and usually, well, Saturday night it was dark. So I went ahead and started a new pair of socks. Cuff down. These ones are 72 stitches on a size 1 Chiaogu circular needle. I do love my tiny circulars. I love them unless I'm doing toes, and then I do magic loop. But this is also Pear Perfect. He loves these because it's very sturdy. I don't know what color this is. This is color 06819. Not 100% sure. If it has an actual name. The other ones were, let me grab those really fast. The person wrote in Tango, but the color number is 07892. So I have 2. I have a small stash of this. I think I have maybe 5 balls left of this. I need to get some more. I really love it. I'm trying to get through my stash, but I think these are when I come across them, these are ones that I'm gonna buy each and every time because I do love them so much. I also have a skein of the kids design line by Regia. Love it. Great for kid socks. Great for kid socks. So a couple more works in progress that I have. So the Cozy Knitter posted that she was dyeing her previous year's Advent skeins, and I had been getting them since 2020. This is my 3rd year. Yeah, because she did 18 and 19, she posted. And so I went ahead and I jumped on that and I ordered them. So I don't remember what year this is. I'm not sure. Cranked it on my machine, cranked the tube. I did the same for my husband. So I cranked mine and then I cranked his. He has his. I put in heels and toes on his. Don't remember if I did cuffs. That was part of his Advent socks this year. I have pictures of all those. I might put them in. I might post them on Instagram. I should post them on Instagram now that he's gotten them all. Maybe I'll do that. And I'll link below where you can find all of that, Instagram and my project pages and all of that. So I have hung hem, 30 rounds, always. All of the stripes, and then I am working on the toe. Magic loop, same, knit around, decrease around, knit around, decrease around. These are on size 1 on my Chow Goose 32 inch. These are my go-to. Magic loop needles. I do love them. I think they're probably my favorite needles out there. I do have quite a few sets of needles, but when it comes to socks and magic. Alright, sorry about that, guys. My husband called. He was on his way home from work. He had to work for a few hours this morning. So where were we? We were talking about my Cozy Knitter socks that I'm working on. So to the toe decreases, I have just a few more rows, finish them, Kitchener the tips, the toe closed, and then I will move on to the next pair, which, because I cranked them on my machine, I have, sorry about my glasses, it keeps sliding down. I need to have them adjusted. We need to make an eye appointment anyways to get our eyes checked. I don't wear these ones as often because they do slide down. Not that everyone needs to hear about my glasses issues, but these are my favorite. So anyways, so I started this one after finishing my other pairs, my Freckled Whimsy and my Woolens and Nosh. So I decided that I was going to start putting the toes on this one, and inside my pickle bag, which I love. There's a funny story behind this. I'll tell it someday, but not right now. From Ginger Snap Fibers. I got this on a shop update. I have the other. So the second tube to the one I'm working on right now, and then 2 others. They're a little crunchy because, or crinkly, because they've been sitting in a bag. But cranked on my machine. I'll put toes in and heels. Then I'll have a pair of socks done. Hopefully I will have them done this month. It's my goal. I would like to have these ones completely done, put away for winter. Well, to wear throughout the winter, the rest of the winter. These are Cozy Knitter. This is just a tag from the 2018 Advent skein. It's on her Bliss fingering weight and 80/20, and then the contrast is also her advent scheme undyed. That's all it is. Super fun. I enjoy it. This year's threw me off a little bit being a fade, but once I got them done, I fell completely in love with them. And they were so much fun. They're so pretty. I'll have to insert pictures if I can figure that out. So I guess another work in progress. So I have more than just a few. I start things as we do, and then I find something else I want to work on. Last year was a year for test knits for me. I did 3 test knit sweaters, a whole bunch of socks, which is really, really fun. I did 2 colorwork sweaters and a sweater that's got lace and a v-neck, but you can wear it either way. It's really cool. I'll link the pattern when I do notes, if I can figure that out. My phone's silent. I have you sitting up on my printer, up against my monitor. It's pretty epic. So another project that I'm working on currently is my Polka Dot Creek Canadian Dyer Advent from this year, from 2023. I guess it's 2024 now. I had started the anthology throw by Curious Handmade, and I was on pace. I had up to day 7 done, and I was running out of some colors but not using all the others, and so I decided that I don't want a ton of little tiny balls of yarn left, and so I ripped it out, and then I decided to start all over again with a new pattern. So I did that. Not very far. I've only got day 3 currently. Yeah, day 3. But it's living in this bag that came with my Advent. So this was part of it. It has pockets and super cute inside lining. It was Christmas Vacation themed, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation themed. My favorite Christmas movie ever. So I have all the yarns in here. I've opened all the yarns up, and then I'm just going through, and each day I'm gonna try to add. But this is where I'm at so far. Let me put this behind me. So I'm doing the Quadrophenia blanket by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. So this is day 1. It's this purpley blue with purple. Day 2, and then this is day 3. I have this much left. I'm knitting until I can't knit anymore. I don't want any leftovers, so I'm going to try to put as much in as I can. This is knit up on a size 3. I'm using my Chiaogoos. Bamboo needles, not my favorite. I use when I have to. I've somehow managed to misplace my size 3 red lace Chiaogoos. Can't find them. They're somewhere. They're the ones I use all the time for my DK socks, so I'm not 100% sure where they went. I need to find them though. They're my favorite. I've said that, but I really enjoy them. But for now, I'm just using these. These are what I had in a size 3 without getting out my interchangeable set. So close to being done with the row. I only have this much left, but I've been, whenever I run out, I'm just making a little, ball at the end. I knit this one in the car when we're going places. So if we have to go pick my son up from work, or if we're doing something like that, I'll knit this in the car when we're doing things, walking or stuff like that, then I work on my socks. So this one will probably take me a while to finish, and that's okay. It's a blanket. I want to enjoy making it. I have plans to make another one already this year, so we'll see. We'll see which one gets done first. Probably this one. Who knows? Who knows? That's that project, and I have one more whip that I plan on sharing right now. Like I said, I have a lot of whips. They are, no, I have two more. Just kidding. I have two more that I'm going to share. I have a whole bin of whips right here. I have some in the closet behind me. I also have some upstairs. We recently moved this was my son's bedroom. We moved him upstairs to what was our dining room / office for me to work from home. But we switched, so now I have a craft room. Officially a craft room. Not a big one, but it's okay. We did that over Christmas. The weekend of Christmas, actually. Yeah. We took all of the stuff out of here, took it upstairs, brought it all the stuff from upstairs back down. It's a tad bit of a, I don't know what the word. It was a lot of work. We have to take our railing off downstairs on our stairs to get anything up the stairs. We live in a really old house, so it has some quirks. And one of those things is nothing fits up the stairs if there's a railing. So we take the railing off the stairs every day. It is what it is. So somewhere in our moving, I misplaced my red size 3 needles. I just need to find them. I don't want to buy new ones. I just need to find them. So another project I'm working on in this little whale bag, just plain red. I made this years ago. I am working on another sweater. This is the Lento sweater. I started it last year after we got back from the cabin we were spinning. I got this yarn from there. It's pink. My favorite color is pink. I love anything pink. My bedroom's pink. That's how much I love it. But I have separated the sleeves, and I am working on the body. I think, just like with my test knit, once I run out of yarn, I'm doing I think it's a mohair and a fingering weight. I have the tags in here, but once I run out of yarn, I think I'm gonna go ahead and switch. Oh, sorry, this has naughty words on it. I don't know if you could see it or not, so I'm sorry about that, but it's kind of fun. Very not safe for young people, but I won't say those words out loud, even though they're my favorite. But anyways, I am knitting this on a size 10. These are on my Leica 3-inch tip. I think they're 3-inch, 5-inch, 3-inch, 5-inch. I'm not sure, but it's an interchangeable set that I have. I do like shorter tips on my needles. I prefer them, if I can get them. And then I found out that Knitter's Pride swivel cords fit on the Leica needles. And so I bought a whole bunch of the cords so that I could have swivel cords, because they're a game changer for me, and I love it. So the yarn is, so the fingering weight is a sawtooth fingering. It's 100% merino, so not super wash, which is fine. I will hand wash this sweater And then the mohair is Silky Moo. It's a 70% kid mohair, 30% silk. Super soft. I really love it. The whole sweater is soft. And then the colors are Silky Moo is Rose Granite. And then the Sawtooth Fingering is in Petal, which is a one-of-a-kind colorway, which I am perfectly fine with. I have 4 skeins of fingering weight, 3 of the mohair. Should be enough to knit a sweater. If not, I will make shorter sleeves. I think I prefer my sleeves shorter, 3/4-ish. I've made really long sleeves and I'm always pushing them up, so I think that I prefer 3/4 length sleeve, which is fine. I'll knit my sleeves, whatever I have left. I'll knit the body once I run out of. These are my first 2. So these are the first 2 balls. So, and I've gotten pretty far. I mean, it's knit on size 10s. It's kind of an airy sweater. I don't know the color. The color looks similar to what the shirt I'm wearing right now, but yeah, super excited about that. I think once I finish my test knit, this is the one that this sweater is the one I'm gonna work on, because I really want it. I love it. I really wanted it when I bought the yarn for it. I was in love then. I want to finish it and I want to wear it. Some of my other projects took precedence over finishing this after I started it. A few test knits. One of them was an Oliver Colorwork sweater that I knit for Grey Owl Knits, or I tested for Grey Owl Knits. It's a camping themed sweater. Turned out super cute. Love it. Love it. And that was one that took quite a bit of my time to get it finished for her. So that just went to the back. That went on the back burner, which is fine. If I just sit down and do it, I'll have it done before you know it. But I have to finish this cardigan. There's fuzzies floating around in now. I have to finish this cardigan. Then I think that's my only obligation knitting that I have currently. Then I can get back on that one. Then I'm trying to think. I mean, I have some birthday socks to knit here soon, but not anything that's deadline knitting other than my test knit. Another project, so it is a whip. I did get it started. We're going to a Gonzaga game. I don't know if it's men or women. Men's basketball or women's basketball. I just know we're going, I think, the 4th, maybe the 5th of this month. So this week, we're going to go and watch. And I've never been to a basketball game. College basketball game. I've been to a few college football games. I've watched the WSU Cougars play. But we were invited to go. And I don't sit still very well. So I needed something that I could knit. And I looked through where the game was going to be held, and I looked at their policy, what you can and can't bring in and everything, and it didn't say anything about knitting. So I have a clear bag. We're good there. I got wooden needles, so I shouldn't have an issue there. I shouldn't be setting anything off. I've read the policy inside and outside. So I'm hoping that I'm good to go. If not, I'll just have to sit on my hands or something to keep myself entertained. But because I'm always knitting, I wanted to have something ready to go. So what I did was I ordered some yarn from Lolo Did It specifically for this game, I'm all about a theme. I love a theme. I love matching. I love a theme. Love it. My family gets Christmas jammies every year and we match. Me and my husband, our socks match. So anything that's a theme and or matching, sign me up. So I ordered some Lila Dennett in her, I wrote this down, Freedom colorway. On her low original, it's a 70. Oh no, 85.15. And then I got these 3 minis. So I got Naked Hippo, Sriracha, and Blue Suede Shoes. So the Gonzaga Bulldogs are blue, red, and the dog is gray. So hence my theme. These colors are similar. They're not identical, but similar. I think I'm gonna make scrappy socks, following Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady's scrappy socks that she has. I'm gonna do the cuff in this. I'm gonna do my usual 20 rounds of ribbing. Sorry, using my phone. Keep moving off to the side. I'm gonna do 20 rounds for ribbing. I think 10 rounds for part of the leg. And start with these and do 10, and then a couple of rounds of this. 10, a couple rounds of this. 10, a couple rounds of this, and then continue. I don't imagine I'm going to get that much knitting done at the game, but I'm going to have these. These will probably be a long-term project. I have no timeline to have them done, just to knit them. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do an afterthought sock or afterthought heel on them. It'd be fun to kind of do a pull-side heel, alternating these colors, but we shall see. They're being knit on the Clover teeny tiny little 5-inch double pointed needles, super small, size 1, 72 stitches. That's what I had. If I had a 1.5, I probably would have cast on the 1.5, but I don't know that I have a 1.5 in wooden double pointed needles. I know I don't have them in double pointed or in tiny circulars. My only concern with using my circulars is I don't want to set off the metal detector with them. So that's why we're using these. These will be for my husband, which I think he'll love. Not only are they Gonzaga themed, they're also red, white, and blue. And every year in July, we out at the lake, they do a golf cart parade. It's kind of ridiculous. Everybody dresses up and decorates their golf carts, drives around the little neighborhood, call it a neighborhood, and throw candy, and it's just a big old party. It's a lot of fun. His whole family comes. It's great. The fireworks socks that I knit out of Desert Vista Dye Works, I have a skein for him that I'm going to crank on my machine when I switch out my cylinder to the bigger cylinder for him. But those are for 4th of July. I specifically bought that yarn for 4th of July socks for him to go with his outfit. He has a tie-dye shirt and a hat and a fanny pack and a really ridiculous shirt that he wears over. He has way too much fun with it. It's like his favorite. He looks forward to it every single year. So we are going to, I'm going to crank those. I just need to change my cylinder. I usually, when I'm doing my socks on my machine, I will crank as many socks as I want on the 64 cylinder, and then when I go to change cylinders, I will then crank a whole bunch of socks on the 72. So I try to plan out what I'm doing. It doesn't take me long to switch them. It's just what I'd rather do. So yeah, that's how I plan my sock knitting. I do have some yarn combed up right now. I think after this I'm gonna try and crank. I've tried to crank some Regia Pair Perfect on my machine before, and it didn't work out very well. Not quite sure why. I haven't messed with my tension yet. I'm a little afraid to. That came from Earl Bacher set, and it's set perfectly, exactly how I like it. And I'm afraid, to be completely honest, I'm afraid to move it. I don't want to mess it up. So we're gonna try again. If it doesn't work, I'll just take it off and then hand knit them, which is fine. I know it's the beginning of the year. A lot of people talk about plans that they have for their knitting, crocheting, crafting. I don't know that I have a lot of plans. I do want to knit and or crank through as much of my stash as possible. I want to try to finish up a lot of projects I have right now. Quite a few outstanding widths that I would like to get done. I have a couple things. I wouldn't say that necessarily deadline knits. Well, my test knit is, but they're what I want in it. I want to knit. I think they're going to be emotional support chickens, to be completely honest. So last March, when I went to the cabin fever spinning, I bought my very first fleece to process, because I do spin. My husband built me a skirting table, and we worked on it. I worked on it out the lake. That was my lake project, unless for some reason we were somewhere else, not at the property. And so my husband's niece and cousins come Memorial Day, Labor Day, and 4th of July, and they helped me process fleece and process fleece. And they were having a blast. Absolutely loved it. And I've taught them to knit, and we do crafty things together. Well, we processed a whole bunch of fleece, and then we brought it home, or I brought it home, and I spun it. And then on 4th of July, when they came, we dyed it with Kool-Aid. So I knit the three girls, the three older girls. I knit them cats from their fleece that they helped me process, that I spun, and then they dyed themselves each a skein. And I knit them some little cats. Super cute. Hated the whole process of knitting them though. Absolutely hated it. Won't knit. I don't know that I'll make them again. Pattern was perfect. I don't like sewing things together. I had to sew a lot of things together. And so the cousins and the niece have younger siblings, and I'm going to make the younger siblings some kind of a stuffed animal thing, but I'm not going to make another cat. So I think I'm going to make emotional support chickens. I'm going to make the two youngest chickens that they'll get on Memorial Day, because they'll all be there on Memorial Day. And then I think with the girls, the big girls, we're going to weave bookmarks. They love to read. So I'm going to get some bookmark weaving looms, and we're going to weave bookmarks, process more fleece. I might take my spinning wheel this year and show them the process of spinning. Haven't decided yet. But I think emotional support chickens and finishing up some lip summer projects that I want to get done. I can't think. I have a blanket that I have planned every year. I know this is all discombobulated and all over the place, but this is my first podcast, so I'm learning. Hopefully next time will be better. I get a yarn subscription every month. I get the Yarnable, box I get two. So I get the fingering weight and I get a DK weight. The DK is the deluxe one, where I get 100 gram skein of DK yarn and a 50 gram coordinating contrast color. So I get both of those. My goal, I should have them here. I think delivery set the 3rd. We'll see. It's a holiday week, who knows. But my goal this year, so last year I set forth a goal of knitting socks from DK each month. I almost finished. I still have them. I have 3 months that I need to knit up, which shouldn't be a problem. And then for the fingering weight, I crocheted a blanket. I held the fingering weight double and I crocheted a blanket, which is behind me. It's not huge. It's not tiny, but I use it when I'm working because I get cold. So I still need to weave in the ends, but we'll do that later. But here it is. So this pretty pink is January, February, March, April, May is a little bit harder to see. It's this really pretty blue. June, so these watermelon-y ones. Is that right? January, February, March, April, May. Oh, May. This was June. June was pink. July is this watermelon-looking one. August is this one. September. October, very Halloween-esque. I have a few of the actual skeins of the DK that are knit up as well in this. November, I think it was called Cinnabon, maybe. I don't know, but it reminds me of turkey. I don't think that's what they were going for, but it reminds me of turkey. And then December was this really pretty blue. It's just a granny square. Started from the middle and then worked out until I got to the point where I had more. I'm debating on getting like a cream or white to do a border. I haven't decided yet. At this point it's finished. If I decide to add on a border, I can. If I don't, I don't, and it's fine. But so my plans for this year's Yarnable, so I'm gonna crank socks every month when I get it, and then that's from the fingering weight. I can't crank DK socks yet on my machine. I don't have a cylinder for that. But then for my DK, I'm going back and forth between a DK weight Quadrophenia blanket or a habitation throw. Habitation or anthology throw. I haven't decided. There's 3. Because I get in DK, I get 2 skeins. Well, I get 1 full skein and a 50 gram skein. That would be enough to do any of them. Because they're advent blankets or scrap blankets, whatever way you wanna go. You need 24 minis, 24 20 gram minis. I'll have more than enough in my DK weight to do any of them. I just have to decide which ones I want to do, which one I want to do. Mostly leaning towards the Quadrophenia because it's more mobile, more travel friendly, but we'll see. We'll see what happens when it starts to get hot. We'll see how hard I work on it or how far I get. I'm hoping to get it done every month. I was able to on this. Once it got bigger, it took me a little bit longer, but I was able to keep up with it. I finished it just before Christmas this year, so it's all done, which is exciting. I think think that's my goal for projects right now. It'll probably change, but we'll see. We'll see. Something will probably catch my attention. I'll probably cast something on, like I always do. Scrolling through Instagram or Ravelry or whatever, I'm like, ooh, do I have yarn for that? Ooh, let me try that. I do want to work on some learning how to use my rubber on my machine, and then seeing if I can't figure out some fun pattern socks to knit on my machine. We'll see. We'll see. A lefty knitter, Aquila from a lefty knitter, she did Socktober and has some really awesome videos that I've been following along and was able to learn quite a bit. I got my machine in September. It was ordered in May. We were told 18 weeks for it to come. It came when we were on vacation in September. So as soon as we got home, we went on a 10-day road trip with the kids for graduation. They both graduated high school. So we took them on a 10-day road trip around the western side of the US where we're from, or where we live on this side. We went to Oregon, Nevada, California, Oregon again, and up to the coast of Washington, Seattle area, and then we drove home across the Cascades, back across. So it was a lot of fun. I got a lot of knitting done. Got to go to a lot of yarn stores, but the whole time we were gone, we were getting updates from Earl Walker that your machine is packaged, your machine is shipping, and I was like, oh gosh, here we are still on our trip, and this machine that I've been waiting so long for is on its way. And so we got home on Saturday, September something, 15th maybe, I don't know, something like that. And my in-laws had brought it in because it got delivered. We messaged them and like, hey, it's here, can you come get it? I set it up, and the only thing I knew how to do, or could figure out how to do, was crank tubes. So I cranked tube after tube after tube after tube, and then I learned how to do some heels. Then I learned how to do toes. Well, first it was tubes, then hung hems. Then I got to learning how to make heels. Messed up a lot of those. Got to the point where I could make a toe, and now I'm at the point where I can knit a full pair of socks on the machine. I want to learn how to use my rubber. I want to learn how to make different designs, maybe stitches. But that's a huge goal I have this year for sure. I have a equal slot rubber for my machine. Let's see, any other crafty goals I have? The weaving. I'm gonna start with bookmarks to see if I like it. I need to spin more. I want to spin more. I have a whole fleece still out of the lake that I need to process. I have in my closet back here, I have 2 small ones. Well, it's the same sheet, but it's in 2 small bags. And then the fleece that we did process, I still have a whole trash bag full to process or to spin up. So I'd like how busy I am, how hot it is, how much knitting I get done. I usually knit a lot of socks in the summer because it's easier, dishcloths. But yeah, I think that's all. I'm looking around to see. I know I want to put this Reggie on my machine, see how it works. I need to count up all my projects this year, see how many I did. I know last time I checked, I either hand knit or cranked a total of 96 pairs of socks. I knit some baby sweaters, some blankets, some hats, some cats. So I need to do a year in a review, see where I'm at. But yeah, I think that's it. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.